Hi everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be talking to you about desktop customization and what I did to pimp out my Firefox web browser by putting add-ons. To begin, I'd like to tell you about my desktop. The desktop is the main workplace on your computer where you have access to all your files and folders. I like to keep mine as clean and as empty as possible. As you can see, I just have one file on the top corner here and a bunch of gadgets there. Gadgets can be found by right-clicking anywhere on the desktop and then selecting Gadgets. As you can see, there's multiple gadgets here available, like a calendar or a clock or a CPU meter, and you can get more gadgets by clicking here. The ones I chose is just a weather widget that tells me updates the weather, and as you can see, it's -8. I'm in Montreal and it's Sunday. And the other gadgets I have tell me about my PC's performance. As you can see, I have a CPU usage meter, which tells me about the workload divided in between each core. You can see I have 8 cores here. And if you go down to computer, you can see I have 8 hard drives also. That's pretty cool. The other gadgets here tell me about my drives and my network and my GPU. To move on, you've probably noticed by now that all my pictures are rotating in the background. That can be easily changed in Windows 7 by right-clicking, then going to Personalize. Here you just have to go down and select a desktop background. You can choose a folder with different files in it and select them, and then change the interval in which they appear. I chose mine to 10 seconds for the sake of this video. This gives me a more dynamic background and changes my mood. So I'm just going to go click Save Changes here. There's also a bunch of themes that define the color of the windows. And here you can have access to the desktop icons. As you can see, I removed my recycle bin by disabling it. You can't just remove it by right-clicking and hitting delete. I like to not have a recycle bin, and I also have something else, which is mini bin. Mini bin acts just like the recycle bin, but it goes into a little taskbar icon here. You can also change your mouse pointers. As you can see, mine are pretty cool. And you can change your account pictures, which appears right here. So I'm going to close this now. There's another 3 apps on Windows that can help make your visual experience more beautiful. Here I have the overlap wallpaper. You know, I have a bunch of wallpapers always going in the background, but I can have one that overlaps. This one is funny, and I made it to make you guys think a bit. And I matched the size to go with my start menu. As you can see, my start menu is also see-through. That's due to Aura. Aura makes me kind of think of Aereo, which is the theme for Windows. And here I can go into the options, click here to open color settings, and change the window. It gives it a more glassy feeling, and as I told you, it lets you have a see-through panel here. I like to have mine white and the color intensity as lowest, so it's really see-through and glassy. And the last app I want to show you about your desktop is the Smart Folders. Smart Folders lets me pick files and make a folder out of them without selecting the new and then folder to make a new folder. I can just pick 2 files or multiple files or just one, put them right onto another file and move it. It creates a new folder automatically, and I can click OK to name it folder 1 as default, or I can give it a new name by just typing. I don't need that right now, so I'll just delete it. And we can move on to Firefox. Get rid of this. Okay, here we go. So when I start Firefox, you'll see my start page. My start page is an add-on, which is called Superstart. I can choose a background picture for it and input different pictures for the URLs I want as links. I can also have easy access to my bookmarks and my recently closed tabs, and keep me a reminder here. The first place you want to start on Firefox to start customizing it is to add-ons and to Firefox personas. To put some add-ons, you need to install them, download them from Firefox, and they're all free. You can always contribute to the developer by making a small donation via PayPal or any other payment method. The website is here, but you can also access this by going to your Firefox Start menu, then selecting Add-ons, and then clicking Get Add-ons. I'll just show you a quick preview of the add-ons you will be seeing in this video. These are my extensions. And okay, let's keep on. The second place you want to go is personas. Personas is kind of a theme or a style or a skin, call it whatever you want. It's the pictures that goes on your web browser's layout. Here I have access to all my favorite personas. And as you've probably noticed, my personas keep on switching automatically. That's due to Persona Rotator, which can enable me to rotate to the next persona and favorite it if I like it. There's a little thing that appears here telling me that I just added it. If I go to my personas, I can choose between the one I'm seeing right now. I have a list of my favorite. Go to my recently selected, the new and featured, most popular, or all personas out there throughout different categories. If I go to Persona Rotator, I can disable the rotation, rotate to next, go to options and select which category I want the personas to come from, or select the time interval between each. So as I like having different desktop images that rotate, I also have different personas rotating in my web browser. If I continue here, you see my tabs are different colors. That's due to colorful tabs, and I also have a preview of it, which is tab scope. Lets me have a preview of my tabs right under here, like you get on the Windows browser. And that's also cool. If I click new page here, you'll see I'll get a new picture every time instead of having a blank page. So that's pretty cool to have a new tab. That's due to the browser backgrounds add-on. That's nice also. Now let me open a bunch of tabs just for fun. And like let's say Facebook, YouTube, Newgrounds, Flash, I don't know. And then if I go to the list of my tabs, you'll see them all in different colors. I can go to my tab groups, which is also there. And I have another tab preview. Fox tab lets me view my my tabs as a 3D wall. And I can also alternate between the direction and fully customize the background or the tab colors. I have access to my top sites or my recently closed or open tabs. That's also pretty cool. If I keep on moving upwards, let me just go on a web page here like YouTube. You can notice that my YouTube is slightly different. That's due to the stylish add-on, which lets me pick a layout for different web pages. Stylish is right here. Well, actually, let's just disable the layout to manage to turn all styles off. As you can see, YouTube has been back to normal. Now, you see there's my maximize and minimize or zoom in options. Here's my full screen. If I full screen, I have a lot of viewable place to do my web browsing, and my sidebar is also available. There's a slight bug I noticed though when I close it and I make it back to the actual size, my sidebar will get stuck. To get rid of this, you just got to go to either customize or the vertical toolbar options and just click done. And it's going to go back to normal. I told you about the minimize and maximize. You can also do that by keeping your finger on control and then moving the mouse wheel. I realized while doing this that the maximum was 300%. Let me just go to 300% right now. But there's a pretty cool add-on I found is Colorzilla, which lets you pick colors on a web page. And then you have easy access to those colors. And if you hover over it, you have the RGB. You open the other arrow, and you can and you can copy it directly to Photoshop or whatever program you're using to video or photo edit. And talking about the zoom, I wanted to show you that this zoom can go up to 1000, which is pretty cool when you want exactly the color you're looking for on a pixel. Yeah, my picture's pretty blurred at this zoom. I'll just get rid of that. I'll go back to Colorzilla, zoom, make it 110%, guess. Okay, that's about the zoom. Here I have the Kaspersky URL Advisor. I'll show you how it works in a minute. And right next to it, I have my Kaspersky keyboard. This is a full-size or half-size keyboard you can use to input URLs or whatever in search bars or other fields. For instance, let's just make this random search. And here to show you the Kaspersky URL Advisor, it shows up right next to a link and tells me if a web page is verified, unknown, and I guess green is good, gray is alright, and I haven't seen any red, but there's probably some. So that's always good for safe browsing. If I go over a link, you'll also see this little eyeglass appearing. That's Cool Previews. Cool Previews lets me get a preview of the page while staying on the same page. If I hover over another link, it pops up in Cool Previews. Then, if I want to go to Cool Previews, I have access to all the pages I viewed. And I can choose to add them to tabs, view them on Cool Iris, or just zoom in. Pretty much browse them like you're right on your web browser. You can click links, add them to new tabs. You can pin it or unpin it from the browser. So that's also cool. Now, if I'm looking for a picture, I get the preview right as a picture. I can also do that for videos. But you see there's another icon appearing. That's Cool Iris. If I click on it, it gives me a 3D wall for all the results of this picture or things in general that resemble it. Cool Iris is also fully customizable. I can change the background to it. Can change the can zoom in or out, and it shows me an infinite wall that will always load up more information for me to watch. It also gives me access to my computer's picture. Here you see there's pictures on my computer. And a quick search bar for Google Images. So that's pretty cool. And what else can I tell you about my web browser? Here are my bookmarks. Yes, that's preview. That's a print. Oh yeah, print. If I want to print a web page, usually go to print and then go to print preview to see how it's going to turn out. But print edit gives me a much clearer idea of what I'm going to get, and I can also remove or add information in it and see the preview. Here, if I click different fields, you'll see it's surrounded by red, and I can remove a bunch of stuff just by clicking delete and then preview the page I want to print. So that's pretty nice. Another thing I wanted to show you on Google is Grabber. If I want to input some words into a search field, I can highlight them and then just drag them onto a field, or I can drag them anywhere on the web page and it will automatically start a search. I can also drag links onto my desktop or directly pictures or downloads. Here, if I try like this, here you go. So that also helps me make my web browsing experience much faster. And AutoPager helps me load my web pages faster. As you can see, as I'm scrolling down, I don't have to click next. It automatically loads a new page. If I go all the way down, you will see it loading. There it is. I don't have to click next. So that's nice also. If I keep on going here, here's my stumble. Stumble Upon is an add-on that basically gives you a random web page, but of good quality, and that's been reviewed by other users, and you can choose to like it, share it on Facebook, check the info on a web page. That's who suggested it. Add it to your favorites, and it goes upon your preferences that you pick when you sign up, and it gives you nice quality web pages to look at when you simply don't have any idea what you want to browse. Right under it, this is the web developer add-on. This brings us a plethora of tools for web developing, like HTML, CSS, bunch of tools that I don't quite understand right now, but could come in handy. Oh, there's also a mouse wheel. It's right here. Yet another smooth scrolling. I also have a smooth scrolling enable or mouse wheel. I'll show it to you later, which makes when I scroll down a lot more smoother. As you see, it's not laggy or anything. It's really smooth and lets me read all the time what I want. It's another cool add-on. Just gonna take a look here on my sidebar to see if I missed anything. Here I have my download manager. Tells me about my downloads. They show up here. Like if I want to download an image, you're going to see it appear here. Yeah, another cool add-on I want to show you is the fire gestures. Fire gestures lets you input gestures on your mouse, which lets you make commands like save, go to next page, open a new tab, open a new window, a bunch of stuff. It's pretty useful. You just gotta get the hang of it. Like this lets me switch between tabs, I think. Yes. And yeah, that's pretty nice too. Here I can save my page. That's the list of my add-ons, which I'll come back to later. This is Quick Alarm, which lets you put a quick alarm clock right over here if you need to check on something in the stove or something. Pixel Grabber, as I showed you, lets you pick an area. If I right click, go to grab, and grab a defined area, I can choose a picture I want and then save it by clicking crop and save, share it, edit. And then I can use this picture. For instance, I used it here. So that combined with Colorzilla is some pretty good add-ons to have. Yeah, there's a little something funny I wanted to show you about Facebook. And as you can see, my password just appeared with $sign characters. This is the password character changer add-on, which lets you change the characters which appear in a password field. And I also have another one which reveals my password. Don't try it in my account. Actually, for sure that's not my password, but it's just funny to show you this. Ghostery lets you see who's tracking you. FlashGot helps you make mass downloads of web pages or multiple tabs at the same time. That's about it. Let me just show you a bit of my add-ons I have on, just to recap everything and close a bunch of tabs here I don't need. So AdBlock Plus, that removes a lot of the ads everywhere on sites. AutoPager lets me load all the next pages automatically. Browser Backgrounds lets me change the picture of a new tab. Then Colorful Tabs is the different colors of my tabs. Colorzilla lets me pick color in a web page. Cool Iris lets me see a 3D wall of images. An infinite 3D wall. Cool Previews gives me a preview when I hover over a link or image. Download Status Bar gives me download statuses down there. Fire Gestures lets me input mouse gestures to make commands. FlashGot lets me mass download. Form History lets me control my history. Fox Tabs makes a 3D management of all my tabs. Ghostery lets me see who's tracking me. Kaspersky URL Advisor gives me information about the URLs I'm about to visit or I am visiting. Kaspersky Virtual Keyboard gives me a keyboard that I can access with my mouse. Password mask changer lets me change the mask character used in password fields. Personas lets me change the layout, basically. Personas rotator lets me rotate between these layouts. Pixel grabber lets me grab images and screens to edit or share them. Print edit makes a much clearer print edition before preview. Quick drag lets me drag to load URLs. Reminder Fox gives me a little reminder. Reminder Fox is right here. So you guys have to do this. Session Manager saves and restores the state of all windows. Show my password shows my password. Smooth Wheel lets me scroll much smoothly. Stumble Upon gives me a random page that might be of my interest. Stylish lets me change the layout of a web page. Superstart lets me choose my homepage to customize it with links that I want and pictures. Tab Scopes reveals the preview of the tabs when I hover over it. Theme and font size changer just changes the font and the color of the writing in web pages. Vertical toolbar is the toolbar I have here that hides and gives me quick access to all my add-ons. The web developer app gives me a lot of tools to deal with web pages, get HTML and CSS. WikiLook gives me a Wiktionary. Here's yet another smooth scrolling. So in all, that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video and you learned a lot. I hope you'll be enthusiastic about pimping out your Firefox and downloading add-ons. So I hope you like this video and that you're gonna subscribe to my channel. And I hope you also enjoyed the add-ons that I show you. And have a great time. See ya.